Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the stew, baby. It's a work in progress here, but I like having a little dynamic background and we're going with it today. We're not doing a professional nothing. We don't have a full on studio, but we're living life. Whew. Well, I don't know why I feel kind of nervous on this one. A lot of emotions running through me for just how long it's been since I've seen you guys. A lot has been going on in the last couple weeks. It's been really overwhelming. And then today has been a back and forth of emotions. And I'm going to be honest, like I didn't even really think about today being what it is until I want to say yesterday. So that shows you how like just time wise I've been so disconnected in that way. So first of all, what is up, everybody? I've missed you guys. This has felt so weird to be this long without seeing you or talking to you. Um, I man, I have so much to say. Oh, it's like, where do I even begin? I guess I'll start here. Number one thought I had yesterday when I was told that tomorrow's the ninth. And I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I just felt like I was just kind of out of it. You know what I mean? And then I looked at that date knowing it's coming, and I just like it just I don't know if you guys have had this when it comes to like your trauma, but like I can remember what the day was like today, like back then. I have almost like a heightened sense of like remembrance for it. Like I can remember the clothes I was wearing, where I was, like so many details, like weird details of things that you would just like not normally remember. You know what I mean? We in the bedroom. Yeah. This is going to be a little bit of the makeshift studio, so it's in a work in progress here. I've missed you guys a lot. I've missed you guys a lot. So let's start there. It's a little family reunion because it's been a long time. So before I get into just like going backwards into the to today 6 years ago, I just want to say that this date I've tried to balance with like the good and like just not let certain dates, because there's so many dates at this point that like things happen on. And you just you it's hard to get to that time every year and not think about it. It's like every other bad thing that happens when we have those anniversaries. You just have that date permanently burned. But I try to like also like fill the cup on both sides and say, I can remember today was a horrible day, but then I can try to remember there was a time where it was great. And this day did not have a hold. And like I can remember who my family was. Cause I know it sounds weird, but we had lost Charles and he was killed, and then that was had its own date. But then like with Tylee and JJ, like that was the whole entire family besides me and Lori. So I think that was like the signifying of like everything is gone. It's gone. And so obviously I know they were killed on different days, but today just has that weight, right? Because it's like we found out. So I've just been kind of reflecting on, the documentary, been thinking about them a lot, and just I've been going back and forth, and I'm writing out the timelines and thinking about it, and I have it just so many things that I am like want to touch on, and there's so much that I want you guys to know about them and the family, and like just try to show you the real side of everything. But I got to this point when this date was coming up in the thought process, and I remember like this is just the most vivid memory almost of almost everything that I can think of. And so I wanted to tell you guys the story today because it's going to be a part of the documentary, but you've heard it before. I just feel like it's kind of like a way to show that. And then I want to talk about a little bit more about what we're going to be doing for the story to kind of flip all this bad back into something positive and honoring. So I remember literally getting up that morning. It's so weird when something happens horrible and tragic. It's always like, I would say it's always out of nowhere, right? Like it's always during your regular day and then you get this phone call. So the phone call to me is like there was a life right before the phone call, the way it was, and there was a shatter right after. So I was on my way to go get my license renewed. I was by myself, and I don't remember what time it was, but it would have been anywhere between like 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. And I remember I was literally right by the DMV, like literally coming up on it. And I got a phone call from a number that I remember and that I knew, and I answered it. And it was someone in the FBI, and they said, Colby, Chad's been arrested. And I just remember, like, I can feel it as I'm saying it. Um, Chad's been arrested, and they found human remains on his property. And I remember, like, that moment of, there was such a shock to it. Number one, like, your mind can't compute what you're hearing, so it's almost like immediate denial. And then I remember I had I had my phone, I was like this, and I remember, like, I feel like I just completely zoomed out for a second, and then I started asking, like, questions in my head, but I asked her something really odd. I was like, "Is it, like, ancient burial? Like, is it, could it be anything other than my siblings? Like, basically, is it pioneer bones? Is, like, is it kids' bones?" Weird questions like that, like things you can't think of. But I remember one thing I wanna hit on, and it's, like, probably one of the most powerful moments, even though it came in a bad time. You're sitting in your seat, and I had, like I said, I'm doing the motion just so you guys get it, but, like, I had my hand on the wheel, and I felt like when she said it, I swear on my life, I don't know how to explain this experience, but as she said, "We found human remains," and you're like, everything in you is gonna fall out. I felt the most tangible, like, hug of my life from nothing, right? Like, I can't explain that ever, and I'll never be able to put into context what that was, but I knew it was happening at the same time. So it was like this level of comfort as I'm being told this news. But I know it. I know it happened. Like, I can't deny that. So I'm driving, and I hear her say that, and I feel this wrap around my whole body. Like, from the, basically, like if someone was just to hug you while you're driving, like from the back, like wrap their arms around you like this. And so I pull in to the DMV, and I'm sitting there trying to process. I'm asking her weird stuff like that. They hadn't been able to, like, identify yet. And so I'm sitting there, like, waiting because they couldn't 100% tell me that it was Tylee and JJ. But you just know it in your heart. And so I remember I dropped that, I got off that call, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, but I'm like, there's a level of shock that you can't kind of get over. You're just kind of sitting there, like, in shock. Like, what do I do? Do I leave? Like, I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, I didn't know how to move. And it's like your worst nightmare is now reality. And I just knew it, but they couldn't tell me 100% it was them. So I call I've called a bunch of people, like, in a row, and then I was getting calls all day. And the thing is, like, the hard part was I was also being bombarded by media. And the people who did have my number, and they're going to rename nameless, but they were calling me trying to get an interview and trying to get information from me. And that was the most frustrating and hurtful thing for me personally, because I was like, I don't have the energy to give to you. I can't sit here and tell you what this is like. I don't know I don't know what planet I'm on. I can't breathe. And you're trying to get me to come and agree to, like, talk about this or, like, release this information to you and get these exclusives. And I just felt like it was really tone deaf. And so I was trying to, like, shove everything off, like almost nothing else mattered. But my phone was just blowing up all the time. And I'm, like, waiting for people that I know have information to call me and tell me what's going on. And at one point there was some misinformation said that was happening, that really was horrible misinformation. I don't blame them for saying the misinformation, but it really was. I was told that they were found in a certain way, and then that ended up not being the case. But I guess the reality wasn't any better. So I got the misinformation at one point. I'm thinking that's what happened. And then the day's going on, and finally I get the call, and they confirm that it's them. And I just remember, like, I want you to try to imagine what it's like to fall and just know you can't, there's nothing that's going to stop the break. Like, you're going to hit the ground. That's the best way I could possibly put that emotionally. It was over. They confirmed it. It's them. I knew it was them already. Like, you just know in your heart. And then when they confirmed it, everything changed today, 6 years ago. Just it's like the world broke in half and time itself just changed. And I'm going to get to all the positives, by the way, of the outpour of love and all that stuff in a minute. So I remember packing up, and I'm like I said, I'm scrambling because I'm like, we're going to Rexburg right now, but it's really far. It's like 17 hours from Arizona, and so we chose to go the next morning, and so we packed up as fast as we could. We went to the store, we did everything, and we left the next day. And I'm telling you, we drove pretty much 17 hours straight in silence, like no music. I was just, it's like my head was straight and I just sat there and I don't even know if I thought of very much. I don't even think I thought of anything. And I sat there just in beyond, I don't even know what the word is. Like there's no word to describe because it was it was over. Like it was just the worst nightmare had come true. And so we got there that night, and then there's a lot of people showing up, and a lot of people are like, there's a lot of really great people, and they're loving you, and there's so much support, and there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad on the other side, right? The other side is like the coverage, the media, the tone deafness of like the moment, and almost like they needed the scoop versus like, dude, I can't put into words what it's like to know that this is how it is. And my mind was racing because I know that the police had to do what they did. I didn't even know that stuff till later when we listened to the trial. But even in the time, I'm like, I know that they found them and how they found them, and that has to be really scarring. And I give them so much credit. But we got up there, and they had already been doing like I'm telling you, we got there the next day, and by that evening of the next day, we went to the fence, and I really didn't want to go. Like I really didn't want to go to that fence, but I had to. It was like the weirdest feeling in the world. Like, and I'll never forget the first time when we found out where the address was. And if you've ever been in Rexburg, there's basically this like highway connection from like you kind of go from like the little city part where there's actually like stuff and stores, and then there's like this kind of highway that kind of separates it into not, I wouldn't say the woods, but like, you know, just into like a different kind of area where it's more like just houses. And there was just a darkness. I could feel it. I don't know how to explain that. That was like a whole nother world of feeling. And so I'm driving down this road knowing I'm about to pull up to Chad's house for the first time. And I just feel like it's almost like I for some reason imagined like Alex and Lori and Chad like taking Tylee and JJ like to the house, and like there's just something I could just feel darkness. I don't know how else to say it. I could just feel that darkness of that road. There was just it was so heavy. It was so heavy. And so we finally get there, and I'm overwhelmed. I get out, and there's people standing out there, and there's people putting stuff on this fence, and it's just full like to the brim of stuff. And to know that people cared that much to show up, and we're putting so much love from my family. And it was like this weird movie scene because I'm like standing there, and again, it's like the Twilight Zone for me. But then like right past that fence is where they found them, and like it's fresh. It just happened. And there's this, and right in front of that hell scene, like right in front of it is this fence, and it's just love for my siblings, just posters and pictures and Jesus and gifts for Tylee and JJ, like stuff that was just honoring them. And it's like the weirdest scene ever, and people are just like walking by, and I'm just like, I'm thinking this is like I'm like, this is gonna be the worst experience of my life. And I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but there was this weird moment where there's this little, it's weird. There's like a street, and then there's like where a little gutter area where water can kind of run through, and then it kind of like has a little land connection, and then you get closer to the fence. And so I was kind of standing near that part, like the land bridge. And I remember I think I sat down and I just sat there. And when sat down, God brought me, whew, this is hard to talk about that thought. I just remember the weird details of sitting down. I sat down and I kind of just sat there and put my arms around my knees and I looked up and there was just something peaceful about the sky. And I think it was the first time I thought, this is not where they are, and this is not their final resting place. Like there's something about it that just felt so much more peaceful than I ever assumed. I just thought it was going to be the worst thing I ever saw. But there was this weird blend of like love, you know? And I just felt so weird about that because I didn't expect that at all. And I just sat there in awe of this feeling. And then, like I said, I didn't know if anybody knew me. That didn't matter. Nothing mattered. But people started, I think, to recognize me a little bit. So I gave people hugs. Someone gave me a little autism pin for JJ that I still have, and just a hug. And I was like, this can't be real life. Like this just can't be real. Like there's a part of you that just cannot accept that information. It's too much, and it's too brutal. And like I said, it's this mixture of like there's a little bit of peace here, and that's something I didn't expect at all. But then behind that is this hell, this scene of hell, this horror house, basically, this murder house of 3 people. Yeah, man, it was the weirdest thing ever. And then we finally had the meeting. We found out what happened to Tylee and JJ. And that knowing what happened was where a lot of that trauma came in from this point on. Like that whole trip there was just so bitter, so bitter. But there was like little moments of peace, but it was rough. And I just, I left there with just like, I was a different person. Like I think something just in me just changed that day. And you can't put it into words. You can't really have like a conversation, like, cause I can't put it into words what that felt like. But what else happened is, like I said, the fence, the love that people were showing my siblings, and they were doing it. There was no Facebook post for it. Like most people just went there to honor them. Like there was just something so sacred about that level of love that they were giving Tylee and JJ. And I remember they were putting up stuff around Rexburg, like they're putting ribbons on stuff. And I remember going and walking around Rexburg, I think way later, maybe a year later. And I think I went for a run and I saw them and I'm like, that is for Tylee and JJ. And it's on a stop sign and it's way up here, way past this whole area. And like, that's from my siblings that were killed here. Like the reality moments are so wild when you go through something like this. And I'm like, no one has to do that. No one needed to do that. And it's just there. It's just there in like honor of them. And I know there was a vigil. I don't know if I was in town for that. I don't think I had gotten in town when they did the candle vigil. I think it was either that night or the next night. I regret not going to that now. I don't know if I could have made it. I'm gonna be honest. That's the one foggy thing. I don't remember if that vigil was that night or the second night, but I know a bunch of people got together and did that. And yeah, I couldn't bear it. It was just the weight of the world, and it was hard. And then, but the thing is, it's so crazy is there's so much beauty around me. There's so many people who came and created this, like, I don't know. I don't want to sound corny, but like, just like this barrier of love for me, and just like really held us together. And I was like, I had never experienced anything like that in my life. I've never seen like something happen and see how people act. Cause like at the time, it's the darkest thing I've ever experienced. And like the details, the devil's in the details. It's worse. Like hearing the stuff that happened is worse than I even imagined it was. And then now here's all of this love though, and here's all this opposition of the evil with all this good and all these people. And like I told you, one of the most impactful stories I could probably tell you ever is I think we went back 2 or 3 times to the fence, and this guy came up on his motorcycle and he brought something with him. I can't really remember if could see it, but he got off his motorcycle and he walked up to the fence, and I'm on the other side this time. So I'm like way further back, and I'm just watching people kind of come because I'm just there. And he got down on one knee, he bowed his head, he said a prayer, he put the thing down, he got up and he got on his motorcycle and he left. And that hits me like I don't know why. That just hits me so hard. Like he didn't look for clout, he didn't look for a picture, he didn't care about anything. He literally came by silently, left condolences silently, and left silently. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it into context. It's just that was so impactful to see. Um, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up today, not only is the anniversary, but this is the motivation is to show you guys inside of what it was like to go through this, not to sensationalize it or expose it for something for people to just eat up, because I don't think you guys are like that. But the world is, and the media can be like that. I'd like to share these kinds of stories with you in the documentary. And this is what motivates me and has for years. I've saved all of this stuff for the right moments. And I always have felt that a documentary is the best way to do that. So I just want you guys to know my heart is still here in here. You guys have supported the documentary, and I'm more than grateful for that. Um, I am happy to say that we're going to be doing some fun collabs with some amazing people soon. And so I'll announce those when they're coming, and they'll be on some other channels. And I am just eternally grateful for people being supportive of this kind of movement. And I share that story with you today because I'm not someone who wants to, I don't gatekeep information like that, but certain things need to be put with context so you can really understand what it was like. But I'm not the only one experienced today. There's so much that was going on at the time. And I just want to encourage people, like, sometimes you just have to know, gosh, dude, slow it down. You just have to know there's no way around your hardship. And it's just going to suck. That's it. It's just going to be super hard. And God's just going to have to take care of you. And then people step in, and then you see something else. You see a whole nother world of love. And that's what I wanted to bring to the story as well, is that as negative as it was also one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I've never seen so many people who gathered around in honor and love for two children, and just showed up out of their hearts. There's nobody there telling you to do it. Like I can't explain. I never seen the human condition in that way. Like both sides. The most evil you could go, killing your own children, is the most evil thing you can do. Like literally, there's no lower than that. Like most evil humans, most of the time they wouldn't hurt their own kids. So there's no lower than your own children. So I saw the darkest of the dark, but then there was this light of all these people I've never met. And it was so intense. That's what I could use the word. Is like I can't explain what that felt like as far as intensity, but it felt like my body was like on another planet and gravity was heavier. That's the best way I could possibly put it. Like there's no logic, there's no reasoning. Your mind can't even think straight. You don't even know what you're doing. I remember I was thinking I was trying to put like pre-workout in my cup, and I was like holding my cup, walking around. I think I was looking for my cup, and I'm just holding it like literally in my hand. And I did the same thing with the scooper. I couldn't find the scooper. Like I couldn't put two and two together because I was just in shock. And so now that I'm older and I went through that whole entire thing, I've realized that sometimes you just have to go through the pace of like what your body's doing, and you have to take care of yourself. And that's one thing I really want to focus on today too, is just remember, like, if you're going through that stuff, you have to pace yourself out and just give yourself the grace And sometimes you just need some other people to step in and help. And so many people did. There's so many flowers sent to our hotel room. There's so many people tried to get us meals. Like people went out of their way um, to really just show love and respect to my family. And I don't know. I don't know. It means the world to me. And this is why this community, I think, is such a strong place because it's built off of people who really work hard to change the world compared to like what we're used to, and the violence and the hatred and like the immediate enemies against each other over different things and beliefs. I think it's really important to kind of reground ourselves and realize like we are nothing without each other. And I'm not trying to preach over here. I'm just telling you, like, we're nothing without each other on this earth. Like, we have such a power to do good, and it's a rarity. I'll be honest with you, it's a rarity. It's not normal anymore. And that's why I was like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and it's the worst thing I've ever experienced. So it's like two of the literally as polar opposites as you could possibly get. And so, what I want to share, kind of lastly, and then I want to get to some of your guys' chats. But what I want to share lastly is I want to spend the time that I have really helping, remembering, and honoring them. And that's what this project is. And today regrounded me in like, this is why you're doing this. And I'm a human being. I have the ups and the downs. I have the doubts. Like, I'm a human being. And there's a lot of times where, I could doubt myself or think that whatever. The point is, I finally realized like this is what I've always wanted you guys to have, is this kind of stuff from the first perspective from other people as well. Because that's what's going to give you the understanding. And then I want you to know who Tylee is, and JJ and Charles. And I'd love to do anything I could for Tammy. Like I said, I'm still working on that, but that's their family, and I don't ever want to overstep my boundary there. And so that's my point. We'll get to that point, and hopefully I can do something to even contribute towards Tammy, because I have a really deep place in my heart for her. I really do. So I don't know. I think that's what you can do when you're the one left. I think you try to tell a story. And so that's what we're going to do. I appreciate you guys being a part of this community and the support from me. It has been weird up and down. Like, I try to be positive, but it's a back and forth, and not everything feels great all the time. So I have to change the perspective, because I don't want this day to be like always negative. And I say that because when you're going through hardship, life is still going. Like the train never stops. Your time never stops. It always, something is coming up next. And so it's really about how you kind of compartmentalize how your life is going, and you really spend your time trying to figure out how to function as a human being. And that's probably the biggest lesson I've been learning, is like getting perspective on life is like the most invaluable thing that I have right now. Like, there's nothing you could give me. There's no dollar amount. There's nothing I want more than to be able to function and compartmentalize and understand things better. And I think it just comes with time, maturity, age. And I think a lot of counseling helps, because you can work through kind of your, like, it sounds like weird, but it's like your blockage. Like if you have a drain, when you have a ton of trauma, it really blocks up, like, I would say, your progression, because your mind isn't clear. You're still hurt over stuff. And so like at some point you have to push through and start to really get a flow going. And it's been years. So it's not an easy process. I'm not even saying I'm close to where I want to be, but it's important. It's important. And I have that. I told you guys, I really try to hit on that stigma of like therapy. There's nothing wrong with seeing someone and talking out the feelings. That's not weak. That's strong. It's really important to do that. And it helps you. And why wouldn't you want to be better? And I know it's hard to be like, go in and have conversation with someone you've never met and like talk about some of the deepest stuff in your life. I get that. But I don't know. I don't think just trying to compartmentalize by yourself always works. A lot of times you need people. And that's what I mean today. Is like, our community is an example of that. All of you guys, I'm sure there's a lot of you who were either there in Rexburg or just were supporting. Like, I can't ever give the thank you back to. That's why I say thank you all the time, because there's so many things I could thank people for that they did for me that I can't put into words what it meant to me at the time. I think I was just really also overwhelmed, and I couldn't even think about anything clearly. Like, I had no I don't even know how to say that. I had no clarity. There was just so much brain fog. Like, your mind is gone. And I'll be honest with you, like, just from a trauma standpoint, I couldn't I couldn't even go near a trash bag at all. I couldn't hear one. I couldn't go near it. I couldn't think about duct tape. I couldn't I'll never forget, there's one, I think I've told you guys the story, but part of that trip while we were up there is we went by, and there's a huge bonfire kind of thing somewhere near the middle of Rexburg, and it was going that night, and um I saw it, and I've never experienced something like that. Like, the way that I froze up, the way that I don't know how to explain it. And so I actually found out from my therapist, one of my therapists, my first one. She said that there is actually like secondhand PTSD, where you hear something and it affects you so much that you actually have the PTSD from that. And I didn't know that was real, because like at that point I'm like, well, it didn't happen to me. Like, I didn't go through that, so why do I have the triggers of these things? But it was so impactful and so much that, like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't look at things because it reminded me immediately of that stuff. And yeah, it's just taken years to process all of that stuff. And I just want to give a big shout out today too. I want to give a shout out to, you know, Fremont and Madison County and all the work that they did to find my siblings. And I know there's so many stories in this world where people have not gotten justice yet. They don't even know what happened. They don't know where their loved one is. They don't know who did something. If they might know where the loved one is, they don't have the justice for it because the person who did it. There's a lot of hardship in this world, but none of this would have happened without all of their hard work to culminate together to find my siblings in Chad's backyard. And that, to me, as hard as it is to say, the truth is knowing is better than not. And I promise you that. It's like, not knowing is a torture that I really wouldn't wish on anybody, because you can't ever process that ever, because you will sit there and you will think about every scenario that could ever exist. Get this gnat on my face. I'll punch you hard. Trying to go in my eyeball. But get the frick, he's trying to go in my mouth. What an idiot. He's trying to ruin my dang stream. You're not trying to have a long life. I know you only got 24 hours. I'll make it 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I forgot because that distracted me, stupid ass. I get ADHD. You can't come in here and try to fly my mouth and have me remember what I was saying. It was important. Oh, Madison County and the FBI, all of that coordination is the only reason they found them. And those texts, like those little things, the hard work they put in, and then the physical work that they did while they were there. And I'm gonna try not to get emotional when I say this, but literally, Ray was on his hands and knees pulling my sister out of the ground. And like, there's nothing you could ever say ever in your life that will ever thank someone for that kind of service in your family ever. And he's not the only one, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a level of, I don't know. There's a level of understanding, love, and respect. And I put them in the family category in that sense of the understanding what this is like. They care so much. They all cared so much, and they tried so hard. They did everything they could to try to find the kids alive. Like, they did everything, you know what I mean? And they spent years of their lives dedicated to this specific thing. So I just want them to have a big shout out, all the prosecutors, just all the hard work that went on behind that. I don't know if they get enough credit. I don't know, but I just want to say that because it wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have found them. No one else would have found them. Like, no one knew where they were. And so that, to me, as hard as it is to say, it's the absolute truth that if I did not know where they were today, I would be 10 times, 20 times in a worse position. And it sounds crazy, but it's not, because at a certain point, your brain can start to somewhat process what you're experiencing, and you kind of get it, and you can put it in a place. You have an ending, an understanding, and you can accept that they're gone, and there's more closure there. But when you never find them or know, there's no closure. So I want to give a huge shout out to them. Also, that gnat is from hell because it tried to go in my mouth and my eyeball out of nowhere. So frick that gnat. But I'm excited to tell their story. It means a lot to me. And I will say I want to give a perspective on a lot of different people's point of views. So I think you're really going to enjoy that, because it's going to really bring it all together for the first time. So I'm really grateful. I'm excited. And I already told you I'm really grateful, because I think you just can't go, you can't just hear my side. You need to hear a lot of people's sides. So yeah, didn't give up. And you remember, from their perspective, they were under so much pressure from the media. Like, this was such a worldwide thing that it's like there's a lot of pressure to get it done, and everybody's like putting pressure on them because the media is hounding them all the time. You have to remember, they're this tiny little place. Like, they handled it like beyond anything I could have ever imagined. Like, they handled it with such a level of grace and love and protection. And it's like, man, what a great, amazing group of human beings. Like, how in the world did that happen? How in the world did all these just like amazing human beings just unanimously like just want to do this, and then just never look for an ounce of credit? And I'm not saying that I think they deserve credit, but they themselves don't even ever look for credit for it at all. Like, I don't know. Most people are so selfish that they would be like, yeah, I did that. Here's my story. Here's my book. Here's my everything. And that's not even wrong. I don't think that's wrong to tell people your story. I don't. But I will say that they are such a humble and credible group of people, and it goes very far out. There's a lot of people working on that, but they have my utmost love and respect. And yeah, and they did the job at the end too. They got it all squared away. They put Chad away. They put Lori away, and then Lori came here and got spanked all over again, which is what she needed. And it's just like how life is. But like I've told you before, the reality is these days come and you're like, the justice is served, but there's still the void. And like, it always gets me in different ways. It's weird stuff. I was just talking about this. It's weird stuff, like little tiny things you think of that remind you of someone you love is more for me. Like, if I see a picture, I'm better at that place now. I can see a picture and not feel like cry, like I'm going to cry. It really depends, but like, it's genuinely little tiny things you remember about them that like really get you out of nowhere. Like, one of JJ's shows, or one of his favorite things, or like Tylee's favorite food, or like, seeing Jeeps, or a girl. I've seen so many, how many girls I've seen that look like Tylee. And I told you guys the gym story. When I saw that girl in the gym, she looked like Tylee, and she must have been like 20. And she walked in, it was just me and her in our apartment gym. And I was like on the other side. And when I saw her walk in and get on the treadmill, I started crying. And so I go running out, and I go running into the apartment, and I go straight to the closet, and I'm just bawling, like no context of what's going on. I'm just like, I lost it, because it's so hard to like imagine them being here. And Keely sent that picture, and it was so beautiful, because I don't know why it just hit so hard. Like, it almost felt fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it almost felt like that isn't even possible. That is how much has happened and how long it's been. So when I saw that picture with us together, I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird to think about that. Like, it's almost like, I don't know. The fact that that was normal at one point and now it's not is like, that's insane. It's insane. I know you guys feel that with people you love and you've lost. It's just crazy. It's like, two different realities almost. Like it's so drastically different now. But I know people feel the impact when they like see my kids like I do, and then they know that Tylee's not here to be their aunt. JG's not here to be an uncle. Charles isn't here to be a grandpa. And, I'll say it like Lori, I thought Lori would be a good grandma, I guess, because I had the mentality I did at the time. And so I really banked on having a really big family for my kids and having them have like so many people that love them and having like, all the holidays and grandparents and aunts and uncles on both sides. Like it's supposed to be a big party. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a big, like normal life, I guess is what I'd call it. Normal, but there's no such thing as that for me at least. We need to send the team donuts. LOL. Can we get Ray's wife to hand off in the alley? Yeah, don't. If we send them, Ray's going to need them in the alley of the back. So, it's going to be interesting. I will say this. There's going to be a lot of people in it. I'm not going to tell you everybody yet, but it's a big roster. And it's really important that I get some things. So I'm at a point, and I just want you guys to know from the production point, I'm at a point where I'm like trying to make sure we're at a certain point where we can afford to do the main bulk of it, which is the filming side, and like have that done. Once that's done, then I can kind of get more into that point, but it's all the baby steps. So we're trying to build up to the point where the equipment's all done. Then we can move forward and I can start doing other stuff. But people who are on the tiers, you guys are going to get that information first, and then I'll kind of let people know. But it might be something that you just see when I release the trailer for it, that you'll know who's in it at that point. So I'm trying to work really smart with that. This is all from this point. I know about the filmmaking, I know about a lot of those pieces, but I'm still being really cautious with everything, and I'm talking to a lot of good people, and there's a lot of people who want to help. Like I again, more love, more understanding and everything. So, you know what I mean? But it's important. Their perspectives are going to be really, really, really important, I'm not going to speak for him, but I think he's doing good. He's a good person, and he works really hard, and he's just someone who is trying to take what life has given him, and make the best with it. And that's all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard thing to do when you've been through so much trauma and you try to keep being positive. So I always have utmost respect for people who are trying to keep moving forward, because that's all you have really at the end of the day. So I'm keeping the tiers. And I think what you mean is if you go from like a $25 donation and then you do it again, would you get a higher tier? That's definitely something possible. Like I said, the tiers are specifically supposed to be like a certain threshold. So yes, if you were to like donate more over time, and you donate, like let's say you wanted to be at the highest tier and you did it over a certain amount of time, then we could definitely do that for sure. It's just a lot of organization, but we're getting all that done. So that's one thing I've been doing, is I've been making sure everybody is separated into tiers, and making sure everybody like is categorized now. And then that way each person gets the thing that they need specifically. But I would say, I know on here you have to, when you do donate to it, I don't know if you can leave a message, but I'll have the same name. So as long as it's the same name, I think that can work. But yes, like I said, I will say this: anything that anybody gives helps, and that's what I've been trying to say from the beginning. Anything that you can give at all, or anybody who can give $1, it goes far. I promise you that. And it means a lot, because we're doing this so outside of the confines of like the media companies, but this is the most beautiful thing about our time. I'm going to go on a little tangent here just so you guys have some more context, but this is where I was really praying about this whole thing and why it means so much. I've been thinking about this for years. And then that guy who just did that movie Obsession, he was on social media. I didn't even know this till I had already made the decision, but it kind of confirmed that I felt like I made the right decision. And this is not about money, so let's stop that right there. So he went on, and he was a comedy skit guy, and then he made a short film on his YouTube channel, and then I think he made another one with like a decent budget. I think it was like $80 or $800, and then he did so well with it And like again, he went from comedy, kind of like Jordan Peele, like comedy to horror psychological. And then he just made Obsession. Well, Obsession had a really low budget, like a really small budget. And his vision and his creation was so big. And they gave him a small budget. And I think Obsession has made $500 million worldwide. And it's like I said, it's nothing to do with the money. It's about the fact that you can literally come from social media and YouTube and be able to create things, because it opens the door for people who are creative to have an outlet and a place to go. And I don't know if I've really got into this stuff with you guys, but I absolutely love films and documentaries, and that's always been a passion of mine. And so I would absolutely love to be able to do that. That was what the media company was going to be, is all of it. Um, and again, the only reality is that it costs so much money to do this stuff. It's just the equipment and the logistics and all that stuff. Like, to make something, you have to have some kind of budget, and we're doing it as like, it's for the people, but it's also by the people. So that's kind of like how we're running this whole thing. And like I said, I'm not trying to get a ridiculous amount. I calculated everything exactly for what it be, and that's why you know, where we are. So I'm trying to be very grounded in understanding, like, I just want exactly what we need, and then we're going to make it. So that's the whole point. And over time, we'll build up maybe a media company into something beautiful, and then help other people tell their stories. That's the goal. That's always been the goal. That's what the media company was going to be, is helping people tell their stories. That simple. So it's a huge passion of mine, but I love film in general. So it's kind of within that realm. Says, I don't like to say things that happen like that in private, but the truth is, it's very, very true. And I just wish, whatever. I'm just gonna say this piece. I've been offered tons and tons of money to do this the wrong way, over a long time, but never like, never a like over time, for a long time. And different companies, different things. And there's been a lot of money like on the table, like, we'll do this, do this. And I just can't do it, because I've never been someone who's like, I don't I don't think money is anything other than just your needs and that kind of thing. Like, money is just how you live. It's how you survive. But I've never been someone who's like money hungry or wants to be like filthy rich or anything like that. I just think that the world works that way, and so you have to have money, and that's simple, as simple as I can make it. I want to give my kids a good life. I want to give opportunities to them, and I want to be able to have stability in their life, and that's pretty much it. But if your goal is money, you're chasing vanity. That's the point. You can ask billionaires. They can be very depressed. So it has no end. And I think I want to say this just so we know, as like, I don't know if I've said this, but my mom killed my family mostly for money. I mean, like, at the at the core of it, outside all the religious crap and the selfishness, they wanted their money. So it really even more how I naturally was pushed me even further away, because people think if I put money on the table, right? There's like even hypotheticals. If would you do this for $10 million? Would you do this? And it's like, this is crazy. Like, people will do something insane for money. And it's like, that's the problem you have, is that it's the attachment to what the money does. My motto in life is simply this: if you keep trying to do the right things, God can bless you. But if you do the wrong things for the right reasons, like money, like, oh, I need to provide, so I'll do the wrong thing to get money to get this. It's like, I think it really is not, you can't be blessed in that way. So I think even if it's like you're turning down money and opportunities all the time, eventually God gives you a lane to go in. And like I said, this money is for a budget, for a equipment, for editing, for color grading, like all the things you need. And so it's a calculated amount that literally is going towards those things. So that way it can be the best version of that. And that's just, how that part of business works. But I just think money is way too evil. And I just think that people spend their whole lives chasing this thing. And like, I mean, my mom killed my family for their money. She killed Charles for his $1 million policy. She killed Tylee, took her money, killed JJ, took his money. They killed Tammy, took her money. It's the saddest thing in the world. So it's just insane. It's just insane to me. So I'm just gonna say it because I guess we've never really talked about it, but it bothers me when people think that it's about money for me. Like it hurts. It hurts me because I promise you, like, if I wanted to go make dirty money, I just would have. And that's why this whole platform exists because I wanted to do it the way I feel is the right way to do it and talk about these things without people coming in and editing and telling me what to say or not, or trying to, do whatever they wanted and then go make a bunch of money. And since crazy, like, I don't think you guys know the millions and millions of dollars that people have went and made off of my family. And I don't care about that. I just think it's wrong when you're like, you see a situation and you go and you make a bunch of money off of tragedy and then they leech on to the next thing. My thing is, I'm just trying to tell their story, and I just can't do it the way you need to, even without a small budget. So it's not possible. And again, I'm putting in my own money towards the project. So I just wanted that to be clear. This isn't me saying I need you to do everything. I want to put it as much money as I can possibly put into it. I'm going to continue to do so because I want this to happen more than anything. So yeah, I just wanted that to be out there. But I think I am sensitive to that one topic is like, oh, Colby, you're trying to benefit off of these murders. I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You just don't. Like, you're arrogant because there's people I know that do this every day who are making money specifically because they know it makes them money and they're doing it all the time and they're not suffering. They don't click off and have the suffering and the heartache and the pain and all that stuff and the trauma. And I don't know, if you can't see it, you can't see it. But if anything were to happen, I feel like God kind of put me in this place with you guys, with this community, to do it our own way. And I mean, how long have I been talking about Netflix? How many times have we brought that up on this channel? Because that was like the ultimate betrayal and the ultimate hurt for me, to know I gave them so much to do with it and they just went case, texts, footage of police stuff, whatever. Like it just wasn't about my family. It was about the crime. It was about Lori. And I was like, those are the two things I was like, that's not the hyper focus. What the hell? That's not the story. Like, you don't even know the story now. Like, you just know what happened. And most people knew that. And then we did it at a time before there was even trial. So you didn't really have the plug-in parts of the story anyway, if you were to really do a case one. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not going to try to sit here and judge. I'm not going to sit here and say that I understand everything. I just know for me, I like context. I like knowing real stuff. And I like when you get to really get in, and I want to feel something. I want to feel someone's heart when they're talking. I want to know that what I'm watching is real. I want to see, what does Kendrick Lamar say? Show me some stretch marks. Show me something natural. It sounds that's way out of context in this way, but it's the first thing that came to my mind. Okay, we went a little too far with that one. I'm just saying, show me something real, man. Stop all this crap. Stop the same, and we're getting the same thing over and over, man. How I don't know if I like pizza, but if you give me pizza every time, I'm like, bro, I've had pizza. I'm done with it. I need a break. I'd like to have something else. There's got to be more food out there. There's got to be more than this. That's how I feel about it. So I really hope to do a big, it's going to be a big narrative change. And I think everybody involved is excited about that. That's what makes me excited. It makes me want to go harder. It makes me want to do more, because I'm like, we're all motivated for the same exact reason. We all have the same exact heart. We all want to correct so many narratives. And it's not about trying to fix all the crap talkers and all the people who are out here talking nonsense or lying. It's simply like, we just want to tell what happened in context and like let people know what it was like, instead of just case, text. Like, and at this point, you guys know that. So it's not even that hard to like connect the dots on that. So yeah, I feel like I'm ranting at that point, but that's really what it is. But I know some people like things just a certain way, and that's fine. Like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. I think it's going to be incredible, and I think everybody who's involved is very excited to do it because they know this is a no limit. And if you've ever watched any of the episodes of the podcast, it kind of I've tried to set that tone for all of us from the beginning. Like, I don't want to say I don't have a filter, but I feel like I don't have a filter, and that's how this is going to be. We're not trying to like make it better than it was, or like sugarcoat it, or make it worse than it was and sensationalize it. We're just going to be like telling you what it was, and it was different than you've never seen it. I'm telling you right now. See some stretch marks, man. I'm just so sick and tired of like the fake life and the perfect life and the everything's perfect and everything is awesome song is playing in the background. It's like, dude, no, it's not. And it's okay. Like, why are we trying to pretend that we're not having a hard time sometimes? Why can't we be going through it? Or why can't we be supremely happy? And then sometimes we're going through a really rough patch. We're all human beings. And like, we're out here trying to all pretend that like this life exists where maybe if you get enough money, you get enough things, you get enough stuff, you get this celebrity girl or guy. And then you're just like everything you think you want. And then you're still sitting there. You have the same problems. It's inside you. Hello. Ask Lori. She's miserable. That woman has all these issues because it's in her. It's not, no matter what you get or have or whatever you think you want, you never dealt with yourself. And so that's what I'm talking about, is like being real. You know what I'm saying? Be real. Like, you think I'm perfect? Hell no. Like, I have so many flaws, it's not even funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wearing a gosh dang tank top because I didn't even have the energy to put a different shirt on, to be honest with you. I don't care. I'm just sick and tired. Like, I'm not saying that that's wrong to get dressed. You know what I mean? But I'm just so sick and tired of like this betrayal of like everything's happy. And I get you post your moments. I'm not judging you for that. But I think it's also like, where's the other side? I don't know. Where's the other side of life? Like, is everybody cool and I'm not? Because I think that's more isolating than anything. I think DJ Shipley spent a long time. I love that. If you guys don't know who DJ Shipley is, he's a retired Navy SEAL. He was on Sean Ryan. We tried to watch his episode and Sean shut us off. I don't know if it was him or YouTube, but he had a really big impact on me. He had to go to a therapy group later in life, and he was talking to other veterans, and they were all kind of letting it all out. Childhood trauma. They were all in this circle, just bearing their souls. And he got mad and he said, F all of you guys, because I thought I was alone. And we're all playing macho and we're all walking around with our head high. And we're all acting like nothing bothers us. And you're playing a part. That's what I mean. You're playing in a role, and that part is this big, like, you're not in a movie. Like, you're playing roles in life when you're trying to make it better than it is. Like, you have to accept it, and then you have to compartmentalize it, and you have to figure out how you deal with it. And that's really all you can do in life. Like, but we're all out here playing these roles, and like, it's more isolating to think, oh, I'm the only one that has anxiety. I'm the only one that has panic attacks. I'm the only one who has night terrors. I'm the only one who feels fear or has like these weird feelings of projection. Like, so I hope nothing ever happens to my kids, like this OCD thing. Like, you're telling me I'm the only one that feels this way? No way. No way. Because that's isolating in itself. Then you're like, oh, no one talks about this stuff. So it's like, how would I know if someone else feels this way? Couldn't tell you. No one talks about it. We're all trying to pretend that everything's going perfect and everyone's great and everything's just, it's like the Everything is Awesome song from Lego Movie. It's not awesome. Frick it. Frick it. What's up, Brandon? George, how's your health? It's weird. I will be honest with you. It's a struggle still. I have a lot of issues on a more regular basis. Right now, I'm trying to get really like as healthy as I can. So I'm trying to go as anti-inflammatory as I can, because I have a ton of like inflammation now from like, if there's any inflammation at all outside of the meningitis, I have like my head starts hurting, my whole body starts having issues. So I haven't figured out why I'm having such a blood flow issue. No one's been able to do that. So I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been taking care of my health in the last couple of months. Like, I haven't been going to the doctor. I haven't been following up. I've never dealt with the nodule in my lung. I haven't gotten an MRI in a while, and that just shows you like you get caught up in life and then you just ignore yourself and it doesn't do you any good. You got to put your oxygen mask on, but I haven't taken care of my health the way I should be. And it's really important because I can't mess around with it. Like it's not something that I can just kind of push off, but it has been it's weird. It's a weird thing. I mean, I can feel my body go numb at night. I don't get great sleep. Things like that. But other than that, I've been, I guess, managing it the best I can. And I'm trying to think of new ways to just more and more improve things. But I definitely need somebody to try to tell me what is actually going on because I don't know if it's actually, they said they don't know if it's actually the meningitis. They can't give me a 100% on that. I'm like, well, that's a big deal because I'm taking the antifungals and they're really harsh on my body too. So it's like, I got to know, you know? I don't know. But I appreciate you asking. It is. It can be really tough. I feel for people. I never had to deal with it till now. And it's like you're just passed around. It's not, I don't even think it's really their fault. Everyone's trying to figure it out. I'm like, bro, someone called Dr. House. This dude will figure it out in a week. Let me show you every episode of House that I've ever watched. Okay. House comes in, says something sarcastic. Well, we've got a patient he's bleeding out of his eyeballs. And he snaps over and he walks away. And then the patient's in there. And then he has a seizure in the middle of a normal conversation. Like, how are your kids? And he's like, duh, 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 duh. And then House is like, well, it's not meningitis. Well, that wouldn't work. And then they go back in there, they do the same thing and they have another problem. And then House has some sarcastic thing he's going to say there and he's going to get in a big fight. Then he's going to finally have this moment where someone's talking about something irrelevant. And then he's going to be like, oh my gosh, that's it. And he goes running in there and he gives them the cure and they go home. It's every episode. I've been watching it. I'm like, bro, this is just copy paste. I love House, but this is a copy paste every time. Give me something natural. Man, raise the stakes, please. You're giving me that crap all the time. I'm getting the same episode every time. I know you're going to save him. So why don't you save me? Thank you, Monica. That means a lot. You guys know I'm very ADHD. So if we start going off on other tangents, I will get off subject, but yeah, it does. It's for real. It's a bad thing. I shouldn't have looked it up, but when I got really curious last time I had my mini stroke, I looked it up and there was 3 moms around my same age that had passed away from it, like more recently, like in the last 3 years. And then the same exact thing. They got the valley fever, they got the meningitis, they had major strokes, they went on life support and they died. So it scared me to death. But I'm trying to do what I can. Like I can't really do a lot. I can't combat it other than what I'm doing right now. And I just have to be really smart. But you guys know one of the things I've been wanting to talk about real quick, I guess, because we're all here hanging out. I know only if House was real, that dude would have me cured. I'd love to get on to Alpha Made and start talking about that. So what I want to do with Alpha Made, because I've been really thinking about like where I want people that need certain things to go to these other channels. That's why I made them. So Pop Culture Poppy is completely supposed to be for fun. And then for Alpha Made, I really want it to be more of a wellness and workout channel and kind of like I want to be able to kind of share different kinds of things over there. So if you guys are interested, I don't know if any of the mods, if you guys have that channel there, if you could put in that link in the description or in the chat, that'd be amazing. I might be able to do it too if you guys don't have it. But that channel means a lot to me because I started it like literally the day I had the stroke. And it's always been on my heart. I'm like, I know I can help people. I have a lot of good insight. I was a personal trainer for years. And it's always been one of my biggest passions. I've been serious about athletics and working out and everything since I was like, I don't want to say 13, like really serious. Anyway, so that channel though, I felt like it would be really good to kind of show the journey that I've been going on with my health. And it's going to be a little bit more different than this. This is like our hangout, our community. And then that has more of like a focus on that kind of stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, Tess. I appreciate that. But I'm excited because like I have more time to kind of dedicate to that stuff again. Everything's kind of settled down. So I can't wait to be able to put time into those things today. All this stuff is like what bothers me at night. I'll just put it out there. Like what I have in front of me and what I want to take care of is the things that I think about, like what are important and like where I want to help people in different ways, and the documentary and telling stories. So all of this is the stuff that's on my heart all the time. So that's why I'm telling you that. So if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe over there. We're going to be doing some sit down videos like this, talking more about kind of some of the medical system stuff, and then supplements and the vitamins that we have now, and nutrition and everything like that. So it's going to be a very cool thing. And I want to say this again, I want to clarify, alpha mate is not like an alpha male, like this dominant bull that thinks he's better than everybody. Alpha mate is literally the conceptual point that you make yourself into a leader, and not that you're better than anybody else, but you're turning yourself into the best version of yourself. And so it has nothing to do with like, I think maybe the name in itself at first makes you think that, but it's supposed to be conceptually that you're trying to be the best version of yourself. And that's really it. Not to be better than other people though. But leaders, like wolf leaders, lead from the back of the pack. There's different kind of leadership. It's not to be the king, it's to be the leader in the trenches with your people. And that's what you have to do for yourself. Sometimes you have to show up for yourself, and you have to be that person that's in the trench for yourself. Sometimes that's just how it works. So, and then pop culture poppies are absolutely just fun, exciting, anything that if you want to see me nerd out, we will nerd out the frick over there. I might have to drop the full breakdown of Grease 1 versus Grease 2 on Pop Culture Poppy. I'm not gonna lie, that might have to happen, because those movies piss me off. This whole debate for 2 years, I got to end the debate with a real video again. I deleted the original, so I will tell you that. But those are I just felt that this community is my heart. It's my heart and my soul. And I felt like if there's other things I want to talk about, obviously I think it's more appropriate to let people go to another place to do that. That way it's not all just thrown in there. I mean, I can't imagine us having really serious conversations. I'm just going to say it how I thought it. We have conversations about like suicide awareness. We have conversations about crime. We have conversations about good things in life, bad things in life. There's no way I could do that and then post a Spider-Man video on this channel. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't go together. And I just think it's almost like tone deaf. So like I said, that's why I made other channels. That's why. So it matters. It matters in that way. But the Grease one forever. Well, we'll get into it. We'll redo that debate. I'm posting a full breakdown video though, because I have so much to say. I have so much I need to say. Seriously. I'm doing a full breakdown. But what I will say is this. This is a day. Try to balance with good. You try to keep the cup full. You try to be grateful. I'm grateful for the time I have with my family. I'm sad they're not here. I'm heartbroken over that. I look at my kids all the time and just obviously wish that they had even got the pleasure of having that experience. But I mean, I believe in heaven, I believe in God, and I believe that there's a time for that later. And I think that it's important to have perspective and just really be able to say, I know it's never going to happen on this. I'm never going to have perfectness on this earth or perfect joy, perfect peace. None of that exists here. This is not how life works. And so I think it helps me a lot to be able to just put things in perspective, I guess. We'll get into it. Trust me. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of evidence that supports that. But we are going to we're doing the full breakdown video. Like I worked so hard on it. I sat there at night with my laptop writing my notes. And then I did all the screen grab stuff that I wanted. And then I was like editing, going back and forth. So you had the scene I'm talking about, the context. I mean, it was real. So those are the two different channels that we have. But like I said, that's why I wanted to give people like more options. So none of this stuff is like forced into one place. But you guys know how important it is to keep this place like our community. It's our community. It's our place where we talk about pretty much anything and everything. And that's what I'm going to keep it as. And it's important to me to keep it that way. So, um, yes, I think about it all the time and how much they would have loved her. It's really, yeah, that's the hardest part. Like, I know the relationship she would have had with each one of my kids and the fact that it would have brought her so much joy and like the things she could be doing in her life and even just JJ being around and Charles and like it's so crazy to think that that was just what life would have been. It's not like some kind of like alternate universe where that's like this impossible dream or like this, reaching for the stars. That was just normal life that got so disrupted, all because of someone's selfishness. Well, multiple people's selfishness. And then they used religion to cover it up. And the money, they just took the money. So money really does have the evilness to it. It really does. So, um, money is not the most important thing in your life. I promise you. It's just not ever going to be, and it'll never make you happy. It'll never fulfill you. It's just a means to an end, I guess. Man, it's dark. Is it that dark to you guys? It looks lighter on my screen. Freaking A. I gotta get my lights out. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here today. I missed you. That's why the end of this video kind of just turned into our community talking. I'd love to do some more stuff like this. So maybe we can start doing just some hangouts. I'll post for you guys so we can do some just conversations like this where it's back and forth. But we're gonna be on a schedule from like Sunday through Wednesday. And then other than that, I don't know what videos I'm gonna be doing the rest of the time. But just so you guys know for like the further notice, Sunday through Wednesday is like when we'll probably be doing lives during the day like this. And that way you guys kind of have a goal. So I'll post it for you though. You guys know that. You know, I'll post everything and update you on that for sure. Just trying to piss me off like a sibling does. I appreciate you guys and love you, man. But thank you guys so much for just being here. Your support, your love means a lot to me. It always will. And yeah, I'll never be able to say it with words, but just thank you. And I love you and appreciate you. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. We got some stuff to talk about. We got a lot to catch up on. So we're going to be doing another live tomorrow. I'll post for you guys in the community tab. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And like I said, with our collabs coming up, I will let you guys know where to be if you want to come watch. And I think it's going to be a good time. So love you guys, man. Have a great rest of your day.